Welcome back to Let's Play SimCity 4 Deluxe Edition. I'm Hunter Black Luna. Kinda felt bad about bailing on San Jacinto, even though the budget isn't quite balanced, but they'll be fine. Nearly 15,000 people, and that place is jam-packed. Pretty much every square inch is occupied with stuff. So we're gonna move on now to our second city, adjacent to San Jacinto. We'll have more space to do a whole bunch of things. So let's get to it, everybody. And once again, I apologize for not knowing the game at all, although I will be able to move a little bit quicker in this particular city. Like, I know what streets are, and what zones do, and even that people occasionally need running water. So let's get right to it. The name of this city will be Haven. And I'm gonna keep it on easy modo because, well, let me put it this way. The point of SimCity 4 is not the challenge. It's sort of like Just Cause 2. Even then, there's nobody trying to kill me in SimCity. Well, we can get to those eventually. Fireworks and happiness result in the founding of Haven. And now let's get to work, everybody. I've adjusted the volume levels to make things a little better. There's a lot of demand for a bunch of stuff. I'd love to encourage manufacturing growth rather than dirty industrial, but we might not have a choice. At least in the early term. Also, this time I'm going to put the industrial around here so they can pollute San Jacinto up there. And I'm going to put the residential near the water and the commercial in the middle. Note to self, edit that particular thing out completely. Anyways, let's get started right quick. Since it's EG Moto, we have oodles of cash. We're paying a monthly expense of $2, and I'm not really sure on what. First of all, we build the major avenues. See, there's an avenue right over here. That must be what we're paying maintenance on. That's fine. We are going to... Let's see. Let's make it simple. Here, now we're connected to San Jacinto. And we'll connect that to the Sim Nation. That'll be our major avenue, heading into and out of the town. That'll be good stuff. And now it's time for roads. Let's start right here. I do not want more connections. I would rather the traffic go through the high capacity things. That would probably just be easier. Industrial zones can be larger than other zones, and they don't tend to be as affected by other zones as, say, residential areas, although they have an effect on other zones, put it that way. That's why I feel free to make them a bit big. I'll probably make other zones a little bit smaller. And just make a grid pattern all day, every day. Some weird music. Some of this game's music is weird. I don't understand it. Maybe I'll make another road to cut through these if it's necessary. And then what I'll do is be weirded out by the grade. Yeah, when you try building on hills and stuff, things get weird. Typically that's when the bulldozer comes out, or the equivalent tools to help you. And like I said, the goal is to keep the dirty industry inland and away from the residential zones. So let's make the effort. Although we do need power to transfer, so we'll see what we can do about it. Speaking of which, let's start laying down our utilities. In a city this size, I don't know. I'm cool with continuing to try wind power. Or yeah. Even though we're gonna have dirty industry. Okay. It's a lot of power capacity. Maybe I'll replace it with a coal factory, or a coal power plant, and a water pump. And if we build a piping in, we can buy water or sell water from San Jacinto. That sounds good to me. Water pump will be right here. And the piping. There we go. Then we just make sure everything is connected. When you make connections, sometimes you'll end up changing the landscape of the other city, but I'm probably never going to go to San Jacinto ever again. Something to keep in mind, though. And I'm usually rather liberal with the piping. Water's an important resource to have, everybody. I don't know if you're fully aware of it. There we are, and we can just keep extending the pipes this way. Build more later. Make them as messy as possible. That's good, that's good. Oh well, thanks to the hills that I planted because I'm such a genius. Things aren't going to be necessarily even. Make sure to pump lots of water into the water. Good stuff. Okay, water, power, and we'll set up some kind of garbage. When they start talking about it, we'll probably set up a recycling center, and if the pollution's already bad, we'll think about incinerating our garbage for power. In any case, start zoning some residential, make sure the zones are, yeah, they're a little iffy. Oh. There we go. Because if you see the little arrows show the street access, it's good to keep an eye on that. Oh. Here, that's fine. Medium density commercial, I don't know how much demand there'll be for that business. For that literal business. The industry will go over here. And we'll see if the power transmits across adjacent zones, and if it does, that'll be nice. And of course, we need to set up other civil services. We'll start with a small police station this size and this time and work our way up. And we'll place it right here where we plan to expand our residential area. We want the fire station to cover the industry as well. Well, we want the fire station to cover everything pretty much. So I'm gonna place it, I don't know, in light of future developments. I think about here would be okay. And of course we'll play with the funding. And this time we are gonna really provide for our Sims. Elementary school, and we'll build a high school when the time comes. And we're gonna go with a med clinic for now, and when that gets over capacity, we'll build a legitimate hospital. And we can tinker with the taxes. No taxes on high-tech industry whatsoever. Excuse me. All of the tax rates can probably stay just about the same. And we hit go, and then we discover what we've overlooked. New zones. Right. Alright, the power is transferring, that's good. What, they don't want these zones? I'll zone some low density and see how that goes. With after of course gridding out some more road segments. Although we'll want to be going towards the water, generally speaking. There we go. We'll chop up the zones pretty small, I suppose. In some ways. Road construction every day. There. Let's have some low density. Which are basically individual homes. There we go. See if any of that gets built. Demand for industry, but not for residential. Nobody's living here. What the fuck? Is there a problem? Taxes. Low wealth to 7. Medium wealth to 7. There's some reform. More industry, I suppose. It's possible that the people who come to work here come from San Jacinto. That's fine. Perfectly fine. See how they like these new zones. Medium density industry seems to work. There we go. Ah, she's growing, she's growing. A lot of construction in the industrial sector. And of course, the road. Firefighters in Haven. Almost a local deity in this part of Haven. The part with the school? Well, I'm glad they like the school. That's pretty gratifying. Okay, big demand for residential. That's good. Let's zone some medium density business going this way. And well, bam! People are coming to our city. Not bad. There's demand for every sector. Let's zone a little commercial. Some more low-density residential. And it'd probably be good to zone around these areas as well. Oh yes, and neighbor deals. No neighbor deals available to the city, really? That's interesting. Where's smoke detector program? It's really cheap. Cheap. Power Conservation Act is cheap too. Some of these ordinances can go a long way for the price. If the worst thing that the advisors have to bitch about to me is that we're building too many roads, then, well, we're doing okay. We're doing just fine. I would not like to create a connection to SimNation, thank you. Man, I'm flipping out. Sometimes the grade is unsuitable to build stuff, but hey, if we can build a road, we can build a skyscraper. That's what I always tell my advisors. And then they give me these really weird looks. I don't know. Let's not... Let's build all around the water pumps. What kind of buildings are these? Ooh. Really? Manufacturing. There's some dirty. But manufacturing appears to be cleaner than dirty, hence, well, you know, the name. Let's try some high density right over here and see if it works. Some more medium density. And hit the turbo button. Have we extended past our water services? Environment's going down. Yeah. That'll happen sometimes. The city is growing, however. Once again, I feel pinched for space, and I don't know. I don't know what's up, really. We aren't. There's some industry going up over there. A lot of demand for residential. That's good, that's good. Positive signs. And check the utilities. Okay, there's some of our city that isn't being serviced anymore. This is some great mayoring, let me tell you. Screw it. Water pumps every day. Extend some this way too, because I don't want to have to be thinking about the water pumps all the time. It's kind of like the budget. Even if I make a little bit of a mess of things. Just a tad bit. This whole area is definitely slated for development in my mind, so let's give it some. All these little gaps in my water coverage. Efficiency? What's that? Derp-a-derp. 500 people. Okay. Alright. My house. Mayor's house boosts residential, and we've got high demand for residential. So I'm gonna build it here. And then place some urban zones. Everyone wants to talk to the mayor in the morning. Bitch about potholes or some such. Smaller zones will also help cut down on traffic issues overall, I believe, as will building roads instead of just streets. Streets can go die in a fire. My opinions are very dead set about this. Let's try some zones of that size. And then zoning. Yeah, everything got placed okay. Gotta watch it sometimes when the zone size gets a bit big. Just gotta keep an eye out. And we hit turbo. How's the budget looking? The budget's looking, kinda crappy. But only kind of. I think that's good. Let's start pinching the pennies. Ooh, I just thought of something. A lot of our civil services... Whoa! That developed quickly. I took my eyes for a second off of it, and all this new development comes in. And the population of our town has doubled. Let's see. Civic services. Oh. Another small police station. Police kiosks are barely worth bothering with. They don't have jail cells. That just... I don't know. I don't know about that. And I'd rather eliminate as much overlap as possible. In fact... right here is good stuff. Keep everybody feeling nice and safe. Another small fire station. In roughly the same area, although we wanna keep everybody covered. There we go. The elementary school is covering everything. We can build another one out here, though. It'll only double our budget problems. But at least everyone will think well of me. Well, if residential's what they want, I'm gonna start some high-density residential. See how well that develops. Oh, turns out fairly well. Alright, there's demand for some commercial sector business again. That won't connect to the avenue, that's not what I want. Oh, screw it. Alright, a house of worship. That's good, that's good. I think I'll build it over here. Yeah, that'll be good. Alright, road access problems. Because this zone was made really stupidly. I accept full responsibility for the cost of the D-zoning. There we go, there's some high density. Almost as high density as the Sims that live in my city. There's some commercial demand. I'm gonna zone some low density commercial over here. And some medium density commercial as well. See how they like it? Not much demand for industry yet. Industry is just kind of, We're squandering our power. Neighbor deals available to the city. There's no neighbor deals available to the city, and I don't really know why. I was kind of hoping that there would be. See, we're getting the same amount from manufacturing as we are from dirty industry, but we're taxing them so much less. I really want dirty industry to know how I feel about them. And we can go ahead and tax medium wealth a little bit higher and high wealth a little bit lower. Mayor is a player. Now see, that's the sort of reports I want to hear. The game is effectively paused at this point, even if it's moving at a slow rate. Also, I love how when alerts pop up, you can't immediately pause the game. You have to address the alert and then pause. Business deals. Okay, what I'm looking for is health and education. Where are those teachers? We should just have robots do the teaching. There, start bitching at me when you actually get students. How about that? Medical clinics are more necessary, but we can slash a little bit. There's something I'm not getting, though. The city's growing, but our tax revenue isn't really keeping pace. So much demand for residential. Let's road up some more. I'm doing something wrong. I love that feeling you get where you're doing shit wrong, but you can't really figure out exactly what's the problem is. Zoom in to make sure all the arrows are going the way that I like, and they are. Mayor rating's going up though. It's just the budget. Let's hit the turbo. There's only a tiny bit of manufacturing demand. Maybe I shouldn't be punishing dirty industries quite so heavily, although they do deserve it. So I'm gonna go ahead and relent back to an 11% tax rate. See how that suits them? Environment's going down, and I'm actually going to address this problem instead of just shrugging my shoulders. I could build the Tower of London. Let's build some parks. And beaches. We'll get all the beaches. Let's build a few. They're pretty cheap to build and maintain. And I find them useful, at least. They will need road access. Easily done. Mayor rocks according to city blocks. Good stuff. Huh. Looks like there's plenty of gardens and stuff going up in our residential area. It's because our land value is decent. How's our pollution levels? Air pollution is way down. Probably because dirty industry hates the shit out of me. It's always that, isn't it? Wonder how I get to data views. Traffic volume is going down too. That's interesting. I'm just gonna start zoning high density residential. A whole bunch. There you go. Getting some development. Grave Need in Haven, we're gonna build that on the outskirts, on the relative outskirts of town, towards San Jacinto, to show what we think of our beloved neighbors. It's weird that the population density is so low. I should really be going high density all the way. I haven't looked at the budget in a while. Oh. Money. Fracking alerts. Local hospital pockets picked. This hospital is not getting the money they feel they deserve. That's easily rectified. Let's just do that. I didn't become mayor by being too generous, though. We'll just have to see. I think some commercial over here where I haven't developed too much yet is warranted. Okie dokie, that'll be good. Okie dokie artichoke. I just built a really crappy road. High density commercial. Medium density commercial. There you go. Ooh, demand is on the rise in all sectors. I'm glad to hear that. I'll admit it. Industry. Medium density industrial. Let's build some high density industrial as well. People are really happy. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to see it as well. Our environmental score is a little better. We will need to work on it though. Also trash. Recycling center. Let's place you over there. Nobody wants the trash in their part of town, of course. I know there's data views somewhere that I can... There we go. Fire hazard. Yeah, the industry part of town, which is pretty much what you'd expect. Crime. Not much crime across the city. Education levels are kind of crappy. High desirability across the land. What's the pollution? Water pollution. Low water pollution. It's because I put the water pump in probably the stupidest place imaginable. Garbage. We don't really have a garbage problem. Air pollution is kinda but it's restricted to that part of town and it's not near the residential. So I actually think that's pretty good. It's pretty good business. I see. Oh, I get it. I'm just a derper. Big demand for industry. I'm gonna zone. I'm gonna make some more zones, and then I'm gonna zone them. I'm gonna zone the crap out of them. There's no doubt of that. There we go. Let's see if we get some development. We're not even close to balancing this budget. Getting a bit of commercial development. A lot of residential business. Bigger schools. Problem for big crowds. Alright. If we built one really big school, we could finish off the 2 little ones. I suppose I'm okay with this. High capacity high schools have a very, high capacity. Oh, the porn music is on too. That's good. Where's the bulldozer? First we should make sure. Fire station is 5 hats. Is it still manufacturing and... It's a mix of manufacturing and dirty. I might have to resort to some agriculture. Farley's Foundry. Pollution, garbage, crime is low, low, low. Land values high, high, high. I just want more people to live in Haven. I don't know what's going on. Is it because the zone sizes are too small? Wouldn't that be ironic? Road, stoplight. I could go frack up a stoplight. We could even knock on the door and see, how everybody's doing. There's the school. There you are. Come here. That'll learn ya. Where's the other one? Oh yeah, some bulldozer action. Yeah, it's a mansion. Yeesh. Maybe we should be adjusting those tax. Look at the budget. Man, when we're not paying teachers, things go swimmingly. I think it's time for some high wealth taxes. I think it's time for some tax raises across the board. A little less taxes on high wealth to encourage that. Dirty industry. 6% on manufacturing. Alright, almost have a balanced budget, of course. Let's see, where's that other one?